Attention all Dogtown residents. This is Kurt Hansen. We've got some important guests in Dogtown. Hereby my personal invitation. Stay out of their way. They will be welcomed to the Black Sapphire. The event is invitation only. No invite? Keep out, if you know what's good for you.
This is BS. That's all. BS. I lost that last comment. At least you are trying to popping how I fit black walls of the map. I'm lost. I'm sorry, Dustin. Oh, that was close. I almost died from not paying attention. Fun.
hello, everyone.
Poke holes into the map. Unfortunately, that is my current drive. Because if I get it, I mean, nobody else has told me how to get out of bounds yet from my searches.
In today's video, a look at Amberlynn manipulation tactics, and she has finally confirmed that there is, quote, drama going on in her love life behind the scenes. She's not allowed to talk about it. I can give you only one guess as to what is going on. Well, Amberlynn, I told you would one day meet the wrong person. I feel like a girl of 2021 again. I can't believe this. Pookie, our most favorite entertaining YouTuber, is actually being silenced by somebody in her love life. I can't imagine what could possibly be going on. We're also going to take a look at how Foodie Beauty is raging on her community page post because she's saying that reaction channels are actually breaking the TOS. I'm going to tell you this. Foodie Beauty is actually breaking the terms of service at the beginning of every single video that she has and in the description box. If you want to see how, and it's not even the eating, it's not even the ED, TOS, absolutely not. You want to see, stick around. You heard it here last. For the absolute low price sale of absolutely nothing, I can talk to you about how Foodie Beauty just needs to get a Kermit or a pumpkin or just be quiet, whatever. Anyway, so we're going to get into all the drama, if you could not tell already by this ridiculous intro. So as always, everything I'm saying is just for entertainment purposes only.
What are you doing? I want to die.
Seriously, I'm sharing opinions.
Can you fucking die?
About public people's channels and leave them.
I really need to stop talking to myself and leaving my mic on. Alright, it looks like this out of bounds shit is still there. Look, that was not hard. Did I save? Probably not. Shit. Oh, yeah. I think that's legit. I'm out. So they didn't patch this. Alright, that's not far off. Autosave 10, let's remember that. Let's try not to lose it. Let's try and out of bounds what I was trying to out of bounds. It's such a long trek now, though. Because I have to come all the way from fucking out of bounds here. Maybe I can just swim to it over here. Let's do that. Let's do that. So I'm trying to swim to the spaceport. This actually might be quicker. Actually might be quicker. Quick save. I can't save. Shut up. Cool, there are bubbles underwater. There's a lot of water effects now. They've truly come in and added a bunch of that stuff. Bitchin'. Beautiful.
Aruba networking
Weird.
Central
I don't
with
like
built-in
glitching out
AI
in this
networking
area. It's
features
weird.
helps you
It's
deliver
weird.
great experiences for all your end.
There are worse things one can do to themselves than talking to the microphone. Yeah, I know. One of the things I'm most afraid of is my own voice. Because it's been so bastardized over the years. It's hard to explain, but it's the one thing that has been robbed from me. It's the one thing that I fear. Like I tell my girlfriends, just let let my fingers do the talking. That's all.
She could make the most amount of money. Yes, I understand. I've already said it. It's a good business move. But the way that you're presenting it with a downright lie and disingenuous behavior by telling your audience, hey, I would answer all these questions in this video, but I can't. I'm going to do story times. That's BS. That's something I do not stand behind. I get it, Amber. You want to make money. We all want to make money. This is something that your coworkers like me or anybody else can relate to. And I'm pretty sure that your audience, the people that are employed, understand needing to make money to feed their family. I get that. We all could understand. If she just came on here and said, God,
Crocheting is more than what you do. It's part of who you are. At Craftsy, we understand that handmade means more. Whether you're just getting started or looking to advance your crochet skills, our world-class instruction is here to help. From choosing the right hooks and yarns to mastering complex stitches, Crafty's instructors will guide and encourage you, empowering you to take your ideas from thought to action. And today, we have a special offer just for you. Sign up for Crafty Premium membership for only $249 and get a whole year of unlimited access to over 1,500 classes from world-renowned experts.
Today's video is sponsored by Delete Me. More on them later. Illuminati's DMs have just been exposed, and they show all of the ways that she has been talking about the current controversy behind the scenes. And not only that, but we also get a look into all of the ways in which Illuminati has been trying to paint herself like the victim and a martyr while all of this situation has been going on. Now, where has this all come from? Well, a creator called FPS Diesel has recently exposed Illuminati's Discord DMs. If you were not aware, Illuminati has a Discord server for her patrons. This is not unusual, this is something that a lot of creators do. Now, if you know how Patreon works, you know that there are different tiers that you can join, and each of those tiers comes with different benefits. By the way, join my Patreon. Sorry, I kind of had to. Now, the top tier patrons, so the people who are paying the most, get access to a private channel within the Discord server. So as you could probably assume, the people who are willing to pay the most amount of money to get into a private Discord channel are going to be the biggest fans and most likely defenders of Illuminati. And FPS Diesel joined the highest tier of her Patreon in order to be able to access this private channel. So he was paying a whopping $30 a month to access this channel, and he has been doing this for 5 months, the entire time that this controversy has been going on, from the time that she had her little beef with Legal Eagle over false plagiarism claims, through the Twitter threads that were made about her from former Sad Milk members about how she is seemingly a terrible person, all through her response video where she cried about Oz Media and also threw people under the bus and shared sensitive information about them, and former members of Sad Milk coming out with their own videos. The most recent of which was Oz Media's video, in which he revealed that he and Blair had been dating for 3 years. I have made a video on that. In fact, I've made a video on everything to do with this situation. Link is in the description. Now, the dedication that you have to pay $30 a month to join this channel, and not only that, but to keep up with the messages, to join the voice calls that they had, and there are voice calls, just to keep up with what Illuminati was saying behind the scenes, is astounding. I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't have done it myself, just because that seems like a lot of effort. You know,
Forgive my tedious swimming. Oh, good lord, I am so sorry. spun a lot of liberal mumbo jumbo in one audio video. What? I mean, I can be very liberal, I can also be very freaking conservative. One, because I'm getting old, and two, because I can be very queer. So you get a little of column A, a little of column B, you'll get a little chauvinist male, you'll get a little feminist female. I'm unfortunately a mixture that curdles in viewpoints. Ooh, what was that? I saw that. That was cool. What was that? Is that inner wetter swimming? I'm out of bounds. I'm just trying to make it to the spaceport. Character V does not swim very fast. Unfortunately not. That does make swimming tedious. Luckily this swim is shorter. Because typically I'd come at it from the other end. Typically, the way I used to out of bounds was to out of bounds over here and have to swim this way. This feels shorter. It might not actually be shorter in actual reality. I mean, it is. It is shorter. It seems like a lot of gamer boys are or gamers who might even come across my streams of watching me play are not as supportive or appreciative of like a more queer female. I say more queer because I'm not entirely queer, but I'm queer enough. What is that light? Like, I can't help who I am. Although I also cannot help sometimes being like a chauvinist pig trapped in a woman's body, which is a way I've used to describe myself for a lot of years. What is that light? Yo, that might even be like the light from the pyramid in Dogtown now, which is hilarious. More of a fluid ladies do need sometime fat too. I'm not a thin girl, Jesus. Had a child. It's not easy after that point. A girl that games and has time on the couch. Not that that should really be a judgment of a human being. Lord knows I grew up with those judgments. They did enough damage on their own from people who are supposed to care about me, let alone randomness from other human beings. I'm not dead. You're a little full of gibberish. Fart too? I'm sure you fart too. We're all gaseous masses of excrement. I like that though. Gaseous masses of excrement. We're all full of shit.
harassed or harassed online, which personally, as an online creator, is
way too long. Oh, no, like halfway there. Oh, it's so irritating. Touchscreen typing keyboards are like the worst keyboards. At least when it comes to haptic feedback, give me a controller any day. Even when it was just a full-on, straight-up keyboard. I understand why it might be preferable to some people to play with a mouse with its better accuracy, but I found it way easier to drift on a keyboard than it is on, like, a controller. It's also part of the reason why I preferred PlayStation controllers to Xbox controllers. Because Xbox had a configuration where you could sort of like misinterpret the feel of the buttons. This is like more originally too, back in the day. And you could drift, so you could end up sort of like with your thumbs on the wrong buttons for your controls. And it's just kind of like, I can't deal with that shit. It was the same problem with keyboard. It was too easy to like drift while trying to play an intense moment. And PlayStation just had a configuration where that would end up less likely. But I do understand people's preference to keyboard and mouse. It's just not my jam. I'm a console girly. Give me PlayStation, please, baby. We'll be doing some new Silent Hill, too. I am hoping. Unfortunately, that's not even on console. It's an app. But I hope to maybe, like, record it and re-upload it or something. I don't even know what it is. So, I'm going to record my engagement, see how it goes. But Silent Hill is a huge thing for me, and Halloween Day is going to be one of the first time it makes its return in like 10 years or some shit. We'll see how it goes. I mean, if V is mostly chrome, does it even matter? Sure, everybody has to take a leak while swimming. And any mass of water is full of our own personal excrement anyways. That is what water is. Alright, I really need to remember that name because I keep just calling it the spaceport. Morro Rock. Night City International and Translunar. Let's try and remember that. Alright, let's check chat. What's up with chat? Cyberpunk is just more extreme with the pollution by at least 8,000%. Why does no one in Night City complain about the true awful taste in the water in Night City? Well, they have Britas, I would assume. Hi, Ash. What's up, buddy? What's up, cute Sims? Who's this cute cat? Who's your cat? This is our best cute cat. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You a sweet kitten? Come here. Come here. With the huggles. Kitty huggles. Come on. Morro Rock orbital spaceport seems inaccurate. An orbital spaceport would have to be a spaceport that orbits. This does not orbit, it's stationary on Earth.
Trust Illuminati.
horror movies, there are three
Oh my
rules.
god, I think we're almost there. What's this? For Night City only gets a few inches of rain every year, but sometimes rains day and night in the city. True. At that pretty acid-heavy rain, so a lot of people have to wear latex or leather outer shells to protect against the heavy acidic chemicals. Just as much for style and substance. Fun stuff. Give me the leather. I really can't wear any of it anymore. I'm allergic to all of it. Especially neoprene. Which arguably would probably be best to keep the damn rain off of.
Movies, there are three
At least we're
rules
almost
to live
there.
by. Always
Listen to what I'm listening to.
Never feed a
That's
grandma
fine.
after midnight, and always load up on garlic before
Credits
down a
to
vampire.
Food Theorist and
Why?
MatPat.
What is it about garlic specifically out of all the other root vegetables out there that makes it so effective against vampires? And more importantly, if I don't like the smell of garlic, are there other foods that could potentially protect me from a late night bite? No, this is not a joke, and it's also not a drill. Today we're breaking down the real life science of real fictional vampires
We
so
just
that you
go
don't
for it.
accidentally turn yourself
Huh?
into a midnight snack. Believe it or not, there are answers here. Let me tell you, they're not what you'd expect. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory, the channel that goes batty for food science. So sink your teeth into that subscribe button for a bloody good time. By the way, rumor has it that when I tell you to do that, the subscribe button should actually glow. It's actually supposedly a new feature that they just added to YouTube, so let's just try this. Not exactly sure how it works, I'm just supposed to say it like, subscribe to the channel. Did anything glow? Did something work there? Now, if you press the subscribe button, it's supposed to explode into some graphic. Even if you're already subscribed, do me a favor, unsubscribe, and then press it again, just so you can see what is going on with this thing. Let me know down in the comments below, what did you see glow? It's actually supposedly a new...
I unsubscribed just to see.
No, this is not a joke, and it's also not a drill. Today we're breaking down the real-life science of real fictional vampires so that you don't accidentally turn yourself into a midnight snack. Believe it or not, there are answers here. And let me tell you, they're not what you'd expect. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory, the channel that goes batty for food science. So sink your teeth into that subscribe button for a bloody good time. By the way, rumor has it that when I tell you to do that, the subscribe button should actually glow. It's actually supposedly a new feature that they just added to YouTube, so let's just try
nothing.
this. Not exactly sure how it works, I'm just supposed to say it, like, subscribe to the channel. Did anything glow? Did something work there? No, if you press the subscribe button, it's supposed to explode into some graphic. Even if you're
Not
already
really.
subscribed,
Very vague,
unsubscribe, and then
shitty
press
graphic.
it again, just so you can see what is
I
going
saw
on
it.
with this thing.
Not very
Let me know down in
good.
the comments below, what did you see happen?
I
have
should
not
say
seen anyone use this
boo.
tool yet, so I am very curious what it actually looks like. Gotta
Hang
love
on.
YouTube just
Let's
milking
see.
your...
What about PVC? PVC just makes me sweaty. So I guess yes to PVC, which sucks because that's just plastic. Whoa, what happened here? I like leather. I used to be, I don't know if I can say I used to be a leather daddy, but I used to love a leather daddy. I used to love leather in general. And then I developed an allergy. Because I actually used to like legit be a leather worker. I still have giant rolls of leather in the basement that I don't get to work with because allergic. What is this? What about, oh, latex allergy is a little more common than most people think. It's not exactly like a latex allergy, like, as in, like, I had a root canal. They fill that shit with rubber that is very similar to latex, and I don't know if I've suffered for it. Where I have a reaction is like latex plus my own body sweat and fluids and whatever, and that's when I have an like an allergic reaction. Probably same with leather. It's like the leather combined with my own perspiration, which is fantastic to be allergic to yourself, basically. But I don't seem to suffer this as harsh as an effect with a vinyl, which I think is what PVC is. PVC, I believe, is a vinyl type of plastic, which makes sense because, like, in order to, like, use resin or anything in which I need to craft using gloves, I have to use a vinyl glove instead of a latex glove, as would be typical. I'm not sure what's going on here. I am trying to return. I can't save. Lame. There we go. You cannot save while you are underwater.
Milking your brain for every last hit of dopamine it's got. So anyway, today we're sinking our teeth into the mystery of garlic and vampires. It is such a random...
Vinyl is oil-based material. I thought a lot of different plastics were based on oil. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I just know what I react to and what I don't. Basically.
Piece of horror lore, and we all know it. Vampires can't stand garlic, but why? Why garlic specifically and not other root vegetables like onions, carrots, or beets? Or maybe other seasonings like sage or cilantro? I can imagine it now, a vampire just being scared off by your street taco. Oh, the cilantro tastes too soapy to me. So to truly peel back this cloth of conspiracy, we first have to go back to the roots. Where did this garlic myth originate? Then we can look at why garlic was chosen and what makes it so special relative to other foods. Once we've got a handle on that, it'll be time to see if anything else can fill its place in the vampire hunt. And lastly, well, let's just say there might be more misinformation to this myth that first meets the eye. Vampires have more or less been a key part of human superstition since antiquity. The different versions of these blood-sucking undead monsters appear in cultures across the globe. So it goes without saying that what we know as vampires today have evolved. Historians consider the Egyptian feline goddess Sekhmet to be the very first vampire myth. As the story goes, the sun god Ra sent his daughter Sekhmet down to punish humankind for their disobedience. And Sekhmet did this by drinking everyone's blood.
Almost.
Good to the last drop. Eventually, Ra had to call her down, so he dyed a bunch of beer red, thereby tricking her into thinking it was blood, at which point she got blotto and had to sleep the whole thing off for a couple of days. Other historians place the earliest vampire myths under the Brahma Purusha or the Vitala from India, which are spirits that possess corpses in cemeteries and then hang upside down like bats. You've also got yourself the Jiangxi, or hopping vampires from Chinese folklore, which feast not on blood, but a different type of life force, or qi. The point is, there's a potential origin point to vampires in dozens of countries across the world, dating back potentially thousands of years. But the folklore most influential to our modern-day conception of the monster comes from the Slavic upior or the Romanian strigoi. Upiors were vengeful spirits that possessed corpses, usually the corpses of loved ones, that would then puppet the bodies to enact a jealous revenge across the living. To maintain themselves, they had to ingest the blood of the living, absorbing their life force in the process. The strigoi were very similar, poltergeists that could take physical form by piloting corpses. Strigoi also had magical powers like the ability to shapeshift into animals or mist, two other classic abilities eventually given to Dracula and other vampires. Eventually, when Eastern European folklore started being documented throughout the 17th century, it started to see the appearance of a new word associated with these creatures, vampire. In 1819 that truly was the first inflection point for these creatures, transforming them from demons and ghouls into suave, charismatic aristocrats with a thirst for blood. And then finally, 80 years later, their break would come, when Bram Stoker's Dracula brought vampires into the pop cultural spotlight. And this right here is when garlic finally enters into the story. One of Stoker's major contributions to vampire lore was solidifying the notion that garlic was an absolutely crucial tool for scaring away vampires. But again, I ask why. Where exactly did that whole idea come from? Did Brahm just have himself a bad experience at Ye Olde Olive Garden? The short answer is that Europeans had a long-standing belief that garlic would repel evil spirits. While garlic could help ward off Strigoi revenants after they'd risen, garlic was mostly considered to be a preventative tool. By burying bodies with garlic in their mouths, they believed that the spirit-repelling powers of garlic would stop malevolent entities from possessing rotting bodies in the first place. And their faith in garlic wasn't entirely misplaced. You see, garlic has a long-standing history of being a super plant. Countless cultures venerate garlic as magical because if we get down to it, it really kinda is. Garlic is just really, really good for you, and just really, really bad for your breath. One of garlic's main active components is allicin, which is the juice that gives garlic that distinctive smell. You might remember allicin from our episode all about how to cut an onion without crying. You see, that yellow, oily liquid produced when you damage the tissue of the garlic, that's technically a defense mechanism used by the plant to ward off pests with its strong smell. But then us humans decided it'd probably be tasty on breadsticks, so I guess it wasn't that good of a defense mechanism after all. Anyway, thanks to allicin, garlic has...
What's your favorite Cyberpunk corporation? Yikes. I mean, it feels kind of obvious or straightforward, but I would probably have to say Arasaka because of their basis within honor and Japanese culture and a lot of that basis. But I also feel like that is a cop-out vote because I have not familiarized myself as deeply with the Corpo mythos as I have with, say, the Street Kid mythos, so to be aware of street gangs and their origins. But that's my soft answer.
That good of a defense mechanism after all. Anyway, thanks to allicin, garlic has antiseptic and antibacterial properties, meaning it both prevents illnesses and aids in recovery. It can also be used to expel parasitic worms and lower your blood pressure. On top of all of those benefits, garlic is also claimed to have helped control outbreaks of cholera, typhoid fever, diphtheria, even the Spanish flu. And at the very first Olympic Games, garlic was there, being eaten by athletes along the sidelines right before the competition, making it arguably the very first performance-enhancing drug. Basically, garlic is like the world's first ever catch-all super drug. It's also worth noting that talk of garlic's health benefits peaked at the same time people were blaming vampires for their health problems. Basically, stories of vampires often come from periods of time where blood diseases and plagues are sweeping through populations. Remember, the concept of germs wasn't really understood for much of human history, so vampire myths were a means to explain these seemingly cursed coincidences that were killing off members of the family. Sure, this might seem silly now, but remember, the way they detected witches back in the day was to throw the suspect into a river tied to a rock. If that suspect drowned, well, congratulations, they were innocent, but dead. If it happened to make it out of that death trap, they were clearly a witch, and then had to be burned alive at the stake. Dead again. Just big brain moves all across the spectrum there. Good job, humanity. You did it. Plagues, though, weren't the only illnesses thought to be misinterpreted as vampiric curses throughout history. The group of rare blood disorders called porphyria, for instance, have symptoms that present themselves as oddly vampiric. Basically, porphyria affects the blood's ability to transport oxygen throughout the body. And although porphyria can be treated and managed with modern medicines, its symptoms were absolutely brutal. Unfortunately, most early suspected vampires weren't lucky enough to sparkle in the sunlight like Edward Cullen. Porphyria causes sensitivity to light, which often made those who had it retreat from the day, lest they develop blisters and swollen red skin. Their inability to withstand daylight made their skin appear pale, and porphyria even caused gums to recede and shrink, making their teeth appear more prominent. So you have people who are pale, they burn in sunlight, they have big teeth, and they stay mysteriously indoors. Sounds awfully familiar, right? Garlic may also have earned some anti-vampire cred for its ability to disrupt blood-sucking pests. For mosquitoes and ticks, the smell of garlic actually jams the insect's smell-based tracking capabilities, making it much more difficult for them to find potential prey. So really, why does garlic work against vampires? There's actually a bunch of reasons depending on the angle you look at it. Its properties are the original super...
Arasaka is my favorite corp. I like to shoot first, ask questions later. Is the most of Arasaka except for Haniko. I mean, accurate. But there seems to be a very, very base root honor in Arasaka, loyalty to family. Not saying it's the best, but I would side with Nusa Militech. See, like, Militech goes on that list as a possibility too, but that's just because Militech seems tough. I mean, they're corpse, man. It's hard to side with any of them.
The original superfood, the lore of it scaring away spirits, the allison it contains, its associations with blood diseases, the fact that it shuts down bloodsuckers like mosquitoes, and the myth of it attacking those with porphyria. This also means that chemically, other allison-heavy foods like onion, shallots, leeks, and chives, they could all function against vampires in a pinch. Say you don't have an Italian restaurant and it's dozens of cloves of fresh garlic readily available to you, you could just as easily grab an onion or a leek and scare that vampire away. Or at least you could if garlic actually worked on vampires. That's right. Forget everything you know about garlic and vampires, friends. It's all propaganda perpetuated by Big Dracula. Let's just reframe everything that we've talked about in this episode so far. Despite the evidence that garlic disrupts the tracking abilities of mosquitoes and ticks, there's conflicting evidence that proves the exact opposite of that. That real-life bloodsuckers are actually more attracted to the scent of garlic. In a 1994 study, for instance, researchers actually learned that leeches are more likely to suck the blood from a human hand slathered in garlic than a clean hand with zero tasty toppings. Additionally, garlic actually makes your blood easier to track. You know how garlic's known for making your breath smell? Well, it has a similar effect on your sweat glands. A 2020 study found that garlic's sulfuric properties increases the amount of body odor a person emits. You want to guess where all that BO was coming out of? The most stinky chemicals were coming out of people's necks. You heard that right. Having garlic would actually turn your most vulnerable body part into a freshly baked garlic knot waiting to be bitten into. To make matters worse, remember how I said garlic helps lower your blood pressure? It does this in two ways. The allicin in the garlic dilates the blood vessels while also slightly thinning blood. Bigger vessels with less thick blood means that it can flow through your body faster. But do you know what that means if you're a vampire? It actually makes your veins easier to drain. In fact, real-life vampires actually do something like this already. Vampire bats actually have themselves a compound in their saliva named draculin. Draculin acts as an anticoagulant, stopping the blood from clotting.
Ooh, I see the rocket.
Process easier because things are.
Sorry, I know this is long, boring, and tedious.
So really, from a purely scientific standpoint,
although Militech has a bad habit of starting wars and blaming Arasaka. I mean, if they're in bed with, like, the US government or the NUSA, as it's called in whatever this is, I just gotta say, duh. Doesn't the American government at this point kind of have a notorious reputation for that already? Blame Asia? Blame Asia. And it's been that way since World War II? Maybe?
So really,
it's a trend at least.
From a standpoint, garlic ain't saving anyone from being an unwitting blood donor. But what about all those...
So maybe brava to, Cyberpunk as being a good representation of real life with its fictionality. Oh, come on!
spiritual properties that we talked about. Well, while some cultures revere the plant as a gift of immortality from the gods, other ancient cultures believe that garlic is a bit more unholy. According to Turkish legend, garlic sprouted from the left footprint of Satan just moments after he was cast out of heaven. So that, my friends, is why garlic smells like stinky feet, because it came from the most hellishly stinky feet of them all. Even if we look at the cultures where garlic's considered to be holy, we run into yet another interesting hiccup. The traditions of using garlic for protection, they sprang up to protect us against ghosts, not vampires. If garlic is truly making a vampire's job easier, why does it always seem to work so well in the media? If garlic is doing all of these things to help the vampires, why are they so afraid of it? Well, the truth is, vampires aren't afraid of it. In fact, they never were. You see, more and more vampire lore is rejecting the whole scared by garlic thing these days. But it's not just the modern day interpretations of the lore either. If you go back to the original source material of Bram Stoker's Dracula, even he didn't intend for garlic bulbs to be the silver bullet against vampires. As it turns out, Stoker's Dracula never once mentions garlic cloves or bulbs. Go ahead, do a little quick Control F for yourself on one of the many online manuscripts of the novel. It's out in the public domain. You'll find that when garlic does pop up in the story, it's actually the garlic flower that's mentioned, not garlic bulbs. Now that right there might sound like we're splitting hairs, but it actually makes a massive difference in terms of chemical makeup. The garlic bulb is the part of the garlic plant that we're all familiar with, those little white paper bags with the stick pods. Those grow underground, and they serve as a storage organ for the plant. The garlic flower, on the other hand, is the above-ground flowering part of the plant produced as part of the reproductive process, long before that bulb underground is ready. As such, the flower is actually much milder, with lower levels of allicin, sulfur, and nutrients. Garlic bulbs were never actually intended to be a secret weapon at all. In short, the whole garlic weakness thing, it's a lie. In reality, garlic was born of Satan's feet and is making you smell attractive to the vampires, making your neck especially smelly, and is making your veins into the equivalent of a big gulp for bloodsuckers. By wearing or eating garlic to repel the vampires, you're actually telling them that you're an all-you-can-eat buffet that's now open. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Happy Halloween.
Whoa, why am I going so fast? Oh my god! Yes, I will take it. What is that? You were like, oh, swimming so slow. Look at me now. Oh!
And we go.
Shoot, it looks like I missed some in chat. Sorry. Hang on. Whoa! What is that fastness? Are you seeing this? Cheesies. Cheesy peasies. Hang on. The only thing eating too much Starglass is repelling other humans out of the room one person is in. What? Lost me there on that one. The only thing eating too much Starglass is repelling other humans. Lost me on that one. Getting closer a lot. You have some water flowing current? Garlic. Did you like the food theory garlic thing? I mean, I'm also watching an Am I an Asshole for throwing away my girl's squishmallows, but I'm not going to subject you to that. No, I am not. Random. Away we go! Look at how fast! chat is so far away. I'm sorry.
and
Hang on.
react in a bad way.
Oh my god, there's a lot. Hang on.
Like,
Is there a lot? No. Okay, good. What? Da, da, da. As long as the pad is wet or bloody, that pad needs to hit the garbage bin. Yes. Is there anything normal left tomorrow, Rock? Or has it been all artificially mad lager? Other than under the surface, a little bit of ground cover, it's all hard concrete walls, it seems. Although I didn't 100% circle it, as you saw. At least in Cyberpunk 27, you can now diver Tomorrow Rock on the bridge. Okay. Well, I mean, you can just drive in there, right? So major passing from all that is Morro Rock is much more boring and you can't really get onto it from the outside. Lame. And I found a good way out of bounds. What? Alright, show me. I'm aware. Yes? Yes, that is a common meme reference. Yeah, probably. it's actually a a video. I don't know what to say. It's a production studio. So it's super clever in and of that way, right? Yeah. Look at Ember. She's making crinkles over there on all the plastic. We cut pumpkins tonight. Her table is covered in plastic. Our cat has her butt all over it. What is this? What is this? Oh, it's hitting up.
Pumpkins are so tiny.
Drive to the rock? Oh, Morro Rock? Maybe shortly. I just want to document this out of bounds thing again. Oh, I messed up. I thought this was a good way out of bounds. It is not. We are not there yet. Wait for it. Yes? This is, pro-trans lady, what's her face, truck. It's like this trans character whose, like, husband has race drama, and you have to, like, choose between letting her kill the guy or not. Oh, maybe one of these? Okay. We are trying to get out of bounds because in the new patch they locked up the way out of bounds that I was aware of. So these are some other ways. Oh, not that one. Look at that dick move. Okay, it's not that one. It's got to be this next one. Alright, so we are trying to make our way out of bounds. We're trying to do it in 16 seconds. Out of bounds. They locked up out of bounds. The typical way that I used to go. So this was another way that I was vaguely aware of. Oh, it's not working! What the hell is this? Worked last time. No, no. Ah! Maybe it was this one. Yeah, it was probably this one. Okay, that's weird. Why are you doing this now? Okay. Trying to make our way out of bounds. They locked up my typical way out of bounds in the new patch, so I'm trying to confirm. Here it is. No! Oh, now it's not working. I literally just used this to get out of bounds. It's so weird. Okay, maybe it's that one. Maybe it's that one. Let's try it again. I'm just gonna keep repeating the same thing, and maybe I will get different results. It's one of these. Maybe it's this one. Alright, so they... Oh, god darn it. Okay, so they locked up... Why am I reloading now? So they locked up out of bounds. The typical way I used to take. So I am trying this other way that I was aware of. And it's not working anymore. I literally just got out of bounds with this... Oh, maybe not. So stupid. Didn't I just do this? It literally just let me do this. Now I can't do it. Trying to get out of bounds in one of my backup variations. It doesn't seem to be working now. It keeps reloading me. What is that? Ah! This is lame. I literally just went this way, didn't I? Keeps putting me back on the wrong pedestal. This is annoying. What is happening? Super glitched out. Please stop. It's all extra sensitive to what I'm trying to do. You'll have to rely on my previous vid? That's not good. Maybe it's this one. Probably not. But trying to get out of bounds because they locked me out of my typical way. Oh, this appears to be it. Excellent. So making our way out of bounds, crossing the bridge. I believe I can jump up. Oh, can I not jump up? And it's not working here. Because of course it isn't. Is it maybe over there? Or over there? Fucking lame. God damn. Oh. I literally just did this. Just do it once. Ah! Alright, next place over. I know this one was a really finicky spot to begin with anyways. Let's give it a try. I don't think it is the spot, but maybe, who knows. Trying to make it out of bounds as they locked up my usual way in the new patch 2.02. Let's see. Oh. Right on top? Okay. And so, didn't I just climb this shit? Lame. I did, I'm sure. I got out of bounds. What is your problem? Ugh, crap. I feel like I messed up. And now I don't know where I was trying to do this. But I could have sworn it was much earlier than these places. Maybe it's this one. Trying to make my way out of bounds again. As they locked me out of it in the last patch. At least my typical way of pursuing out of bounds. No. Strange. It happens like every time. Oh, and they've put me back to the original one. That's so weird. Maybe I should go back and load. It's not like I succeeded anything very much in the last one. It's frustrating. Okay, this is the load where technically I made it over the boundary previously. Let's see where it's located. Maybe. Okay, so right here is where I was able to make it over. Let's have a look. So we come up and right here, so there's like, it's before any of these two, so right before that. Alright. You can see my vehicle there. Alright, let's go back and see if I can achieve it again. Oh. I guess Amber the cat lied to be warm on the plastic table covering. Oh, chonker? Yeah, maybe a little. They're bad, they're bad with their pica, so we're more worried about them eating the plastic than, you know, anything else, really. Alright, attempting to make it out of bounds as I've been locked out of my typical way, getting out of bounds thanks to the new patch. But this just worked a moment ago, so let's give it a try again. We are here on the map, up here, specifically on this crossbar right here. Let's see if this works again. Yeah, see, we can hop up on the wall that's invisible, and get out of bounds. Ouch. Let's see, where over the out of bounds wall and in the oil field. Yeah. think it works permanently. I'm really not positive. I was able to get over to the spaceport from here, so it offers potential. But that's what I wanted to document tonight. Let's sleep. Let's sleep. It's bedtime. Well, Chooms, thanks for hanging out and watching me going through ridiculousness. I am signing off for the evening for some proper rest and relaxation. Say goodnight to the Ashen Cat, and unfortunately, I got a Delta. Good night, all.